Yo, K-Kunnnn here. Today I just watched ZZZ's version 1.4 live stream and let's just say it's a fucking banger. So I'll summarize everything and discuss a little bit about some of the things that are in the live stream. So let's get started. Here's the version code, use it in game. A continuation of the main story, which is chapter 5 I think. They showed off Miyabi's promotional stuff and their dates. You can see Miyabi's in her baby clothes over here. Cute. A new area called Port Elpis, I don't know how to pronounce that, and Reverb Arena, and an agent story for our cancer patient Harumasa. So first things first, the rumors are true. They're gonna give a free Harumasa for everyone. And not only that, they're gonna give us mats so that we can level him up to level 40, so that we can use him straight out of the get-go when the version finally becomes live. And not only that, we're gonna get a double banner, so we're gonna get Miyabi and Harumasa at the same time when the version drops. So there won't be any first phase or second phase in this version. And from what I've seen, I don't think there's gonna be like an Ellen rerun or any kind of reruns right now. They didn't mention it on the live stream, so I guess there isn't unless they announce it on Twitter or something. But yeah, for now, there's nothing. But anyways, let's get on to the characters and their kits. So first things first, Miyabi obviously, our freaking queen, freaking Virgil's fox daughter or something. So we know she's an ice anomaly with a new unique freeze anomaly mechanic called Ice Fire that has the same properties as freeze, but an additional to that is the frostbite and frostburn, which probably does giga damage. And another thing is she has a new mechanic called Fallen Frost under her HP bar, which can be consumed by doing a hold basic attack, and when you're doing a hold basic attack, you're basically becoming the storm that is approaching, causing this big AoE of slashes. So how do we get Fallen Frost? By basically doing her EX skill, triggering Disorder and probably triggering Frostburn. So obviously she's gonna be a good pair for a Yanagi or Burnies if you have them. And her additional ability unlocks if you have a support or someone in the same faction as her, which basically ignores 30% ice rest when you're doing her hold basic attack, consuming Fallen Frost, and doing her AoE slash attacks. So from this description, she's probably going to be a freaking nuker, basically freezing the enemy and just shattering them to oblivion. So moving on to Harumasa, who can switch into two different weapon styles, which is the blade form and the bow form. So his gameplay is going to be like a fast quick swap rotation, applying 2 stacks or more electric prison so that you can go into your blade form and start whacking the enemies and slicing and dicing them. So how do you apply electric prison to the enemies? So you can apply them by having the electric quivers, or I call them the electric balls, on the field. You can get these electric balls if you do his EX skill, chain attack, and other skills, and the live stream shows that you can get it as well if you trigger shock. So to apply electro prison, you can do a hold basic attack and then he will go into this aim shot mode, which auto tracks the enemies for you so you don't have to aim, and mark the enemies. And when the enemy is marked, you can now go into his blade form and start slashing them. And from the live stream they showed, the distance doesn't really matter. As long as the X mark is on the enemy, you could probably just zoom across the map and then just slash them. And his additional ability can be activated if someone's anomaly or a stun agent in the team. Falling Feathers or his chain attack or anomaly triggers, it will apply 2 stacks of electric prison to the enemy. So again, he's a quick swap, fast rotation character who doesn't really want to be on field that much. You're only going on to him when the enemy is stunned so you can do his damage rotation portion. So moving on to the Bangboos, we're gonna get obviously Agent Gulliver, Mr. FBI Open Up Bangboo.
Open the door.
Hey, if you're still watching this video, why not subscribe so I can stay in the basement and you'll get ZZZ content weekly. Thank you very much. And another one called Brawler Boo, who has some sick animations. Bro can freaking fly and then freaking do like some aura punches, which is pretty cool. And we can obtain him by doing the event called Hollow Zero Shadows Lost, which is basically simulated universe, a roguelike dungeon crawler, pretty cool, in Zenless Zone 0. And this game mode enables you to use characters that are level 1 and then just straight up level them up without consuming any materials so that you can use them on the event. And this event is pretty freaking cool because it enables your characters to do some unique animations and attacks. If you obtain these kinds of relics from them, I don't know what they're called specifically, they will enable your characters to do some cool stuff and basically change their gameplay. So I can't wait for this event to become live. Next up is Into the Pale Wasteland, which is basically a new type of exploration system that they are adding to ZZZ. So no more TVs and stuff like that. We're gonna use AOs to walk around the hollows. Pretty cool. And also this kind of reminds me of Nier Automata's like kind of like white-ish theme when they're in like some kind of white stuff. Okay, I'll shut up now. Yeah, they're removing this TV system and replacing it with this new exploration system. You also have the option to use the TV system, but I don't know who would do that, probably a psychopath. And the map designs for these are pretty cute. They kind of remind me of those Lego games, like Lego Star Wars and stuff like that. Anyways, another event, or I think another endgame mode that they're adding to the Outpost, which is called Deadly Assault, which is basically a boss rush gameplay. You have to pick some buffs, tactics, so that you can get some scores and stuff like that to kill the enemies and get more points and for the rewards obviously. And from the footage that they shown, the boss has like multiple HP bars, like what the heck? But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this game mode. Next up is Bangboos vs Ethereals, which is basically tower defense game, or Theater Mechanicus if you play Genshin. If you play Arknights, I mean this is the game for you. And the design for this is kinda cool. I like the like Lego-ish style from the map designs and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, pretty cute as well. Can't wait to try this event. Next up is Where the Stars Shine Bright, which is basically an expedition or a dispatch mission that gives us some polychromes and cool rewards. That has the same UI as the bootcamp, so pretty cool, seems simple enough and straightforward. Combat Footage Review, which is basically a rerun event. If you played the puzzle event in the previous patch, this will be pretty similar to that. Collab Designer, which is basically similar to the weekly rewards that we're doing right now, so we're probably gonna do some fetch quests and stuff like that too, and some random tasks which will fill up the bingo board card. Pretty straightforward if you're doing the weekly missions. Some double drop events, pretty cool, always love to see this. New elite boss mat and a new notorious boss, which is probably for Harumasa and Miyabi. New freaking disk drives, the top ones obviously for Miyabi and the bottom ones probably for a support in the future, who knows, maybe? They're reducing the XP requirement to level your internet level, pretty cool. They're lowering the level requirements so that you can join the events very early on. Optimizing the UI, they're updating the coffee shop so you can just buy one and farm anything you want with that coffee. This basically removes the weekly rotation of what you can farm for this day or that day, so you can just farm for anything you want now. This drive rarity optimization, they're making it so that we can identify which one is probably more valuable and which one has better substats and stats like that overall. And another big change, which is the decibel system, so you can pretty much ult with everyone now. So now our stunners can stun faster and our supports can do damage while providing buffs, and our damage dealer will do damage obviously. A quick sweep feature for Shiyu defense. Now we can begin at the 4th node, so this will basically save our time and stuff like that. Pretty cool. They added an in-game level upgrade recommendation and planner basically. This is good if you don't want to alt tab to different websites to check your materials and stuff like that, so pretty good on them. You can copy paste people's builds and stuff like that, pretty cool as well if you don't want to freaking think and just copy what the meta players are doing. So yeah, new trust events for Sokaku, Harumasa, and Miyabi. A new trust event where the characters will follow you. We could play games together, watch movies together, so basically a dating simulator so we can be more parasocial with our characters, amen. And we can switch to anyone in the overworld now, so we can walk as Jane Doe, freaking Big Ben over here as well. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Optimizations for Bizarre Brigade. You're basically getting a save file and then you can come back whenever you want and play again in that stage. For mobile, management for space, you can download and delete content now, which is huge, so that ZZZ won't be eating up your space anymore. They announced ZZZ Hub, so we can probably buy official merch overseas now, officially, so we don't have to go to some freaking shady third-party websites to buy HoYoverse merch. Well, specifically for ZZZ. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Subscribe so I can stay in the basement, like for the algorithm, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.